Hey folks, interesting video here. It's another video I have for you, and this is alien so-called deception again. And this one this is like an alien. This is like an invasion, folks. This all happened in Peru, and these people are being attacked by some force, some alien presence. It's happening every night, according to them. So I'll listen to let's see the video. Here's the rest of here's the gist on this.
Blowing. Honestly, mind blowing.
They're being attacked, folks.
Shalom and blessings, family. AVS here, and the footage that you're looking at is apparently what the world call aliens, and apparently it's been caught on camera. So we are going to take this footage into Photoshop and screenshot the important keyframes, upscale it and analyze it very deeply later on in this video, which is something I'm actually very excited to do because I haven't come across any footage that is satisfactory in the upscaling or analysis yet. Now, before we do dive into that, brace yourselves, because as we step into this mysterious world of quote-unquote extraterrestrials, I want to know what you think these beings are. Do you believe they are aliens or something supernatural? Because for those of you who are in the truth, you will know that truth is sometimes stranger than fiction. Now let's head over to this news article and get a background on what is actually going on in Peru, or what is claimed to be going on in Peru, and then we'll head into the analysis. Let's go. Now here is a news article that I came across that is covering the events that are claimed to be happening in Peru. Now we're going to go through this quite quickly because I do...
Oh my God, folks. Armored alien attacks. Villagers unable to sleep out of fear. So this is like an invasion or something, folks. It's like some kind of attack. Has the invasion begun? Believe it. Some would say maybe it has begun already. The alien invasion. We always think of like one day it's gonna be. You're gonna see like ships in the sky with a lot of with aliens attacking a city, a major city, and you see it in the movies, so-called movies. I mean, these fiction like V and other movies. War of the Worlds, you see the alien ship come by. Well, War of the Worlds, and then there's an invasion. There's one ship comes, and then there's eventually there's an invasion. That was the 1950s, right? And then there was another movie, Tom Cruise, and now there's a series, or there was, War of the Worlds. But you see it more, maybe it's undercover now. This is true. Yeah, this is like an invasion. They're being attacked by aliens. Wow. But it's more than this. That's what this guy, Saint Avius, he's saying that it's a deception, like I'm thinking too, like my other video says. Like I said in my other video, this is more like a deception, and it's really some supernatural thing going on, like evil spirits, demonic. This guy has a Christian station, Christian channel, so he believes that. I believe too. I believe this could be a demonic, more rather than an alien. More like supernatural than physical, around, and they being like an alien, another being, but more like a spiritual being. They manifesting in the flesh. Possible they could do that. Demons could do that. Like for a while. I think they could do that. The angels do that too. Manifest. Like for a while they could manifest the flesh. But
You want to dive into the analysis of the footage and get some keyframes and really dive deep into what's going on. But this news article was written by Indy 100, and the claims are very bold. It says, armored alien attacks leave villagers unable to sleep out of fear. And this man here was apparently injured. And it goes on to say, terrified villagers say they are being attacked by 7-foot-tall armored aliens that look like the Green Goblin from Spider-Man. Now, of course, this does sound very strange. It then goes on to say, locals describe the extraterrestrials as having large heads and yellowish eyes. Now, what I find very interesting about these articles is they always jump to the conclusion straight away that these are extraterrestrials, without taking in other factors and other possibilities. It's quite strange. They claim they have attacked them every night for nearly a month since the 11th of July. Now, something I will say that is very strange about this as well is that if something was attacking every night, wouldn't you set up cameras? Wouldn't you be ready to film what is going on? Just a thought. Community members said they can't sleep because they are in fear. The claims have been made by members of the pt.2 indigenous people in the rural district of Alto Nanay, northeast of Lima, Peru. Now, this may explain a little bit. I don't know how much technology these people have access to, since they are pt.2 indigenous people. Maybe they don't have cameras and phones ready to go. But they went on to say, they said the aliens are immune to their hunting weapons and called on the Peruvian military to step in to protect them from further interstellar intrusion. And this is another injury that is taking place. And what is quite interesting about this entire story is the injuries are clearly real. There has been other footage that I've seen of injuries, and they do look quite real. But at the same time, we have to question everything in this world, because it's very easy to, well, fake an injury. I'm not saying that's taking place, but this could also be something completely different, not an alien invasion. Could be something supernatural, right? Villagers also claim that the alien prowlers wear protective armor. Community leader Jairo Riategu Avila said, these gentlemen are aliens. He called them gentlemen. These gentlemen are aliens. They appear to be armored like the Green Goblin from Spider-Man. I shot one of them twice and he wasn't injured. He rose and disappeared. We're very frightened about what's happening here.
So he shot one of them. That means they're using guns against them. And he couldn't kill them or nothing. Guns are probably rifles against them. Not like they're using their I think they're not using their I think you mentioned before. I'm not gonna go back, but I don't think they're using the spears or anything. So they're a primitive tribe, but I don't know if they're that primitive. I don't think they're that primitive. I think he shot them. They probably had guns, or some of them had guns probably.
In our community, he added. Their shoes are round-shaped, which they use to float. They float about 1 meter from the ground, and there is a red light on the heel. Very interesting. Their heads are long, they wear a mask, and their eyes are yellowish. They are experts at escaping. Villagers have started carrying out night patrols to hunt down the alien intruders. They have requested a military presence from the authorities. However, it reported...
So this is like an invasion, folks. Wow, this is like an invasion. I'm not hearing that much in the mainstream media or over here, North America, not much on this.
Reportedly takes a 10-hour river trip to reach the community from Iquitos City. Okay, so that doesn't seem very efficient. Wouldn't it be far more logical to station some soldiers in their village for a few weeks to make sure the claims are real and to keep the people safe? Yeah. The villagers describe the aliens as being like Helakaras, strange beings that feast on human fat and organs. According to reports, the police reached the remote area on board a speeder vessel and toured the village perimeter, including the area where the teenager was allegedly attacked. And this is some footage. It is unclear if the authorities found anything to corroborate the villagers' claims and if the government intends to deploy military personnel to the area for a sustained period of time. According to a 2017 national census, there are around 1,350 people who identify as being a member of the pt.2 community. So there you have a little bit of background information on the claims that are being made in Peru. But now we're going to head into the analysis of the footage first, and then we're going to screenshot the footage and take it into Photoshop and look at those screenshots as individual frames and break them down. So now here is the footage. I have upscaled it, I've played around with the settings, the contrast, the highlights, and the exposure. I've also upped the saturation so that you can see the colors more vividly. I've played around with the curves so that the blacks are faded into the background so that the object itself is far more clear. Now I'm going to play that same footage in slow motion, and then we're going to take a look at the footage in negative form because maybe something will become more clear in that format. Now here is the slow motion footage, and if I'm going to be completely honest, this could be absolutely anything. It could be a tree and the flashlight could be shining on it so fast that on a low resolution camera with low frame rate, as we can clearly see that this is probably filmed on either 24 frames per second or 29 frames per second, it is just an illusion that this is a being up there. But I'm not going to discredit it. We're going to take a look at it in negative format as well. Let's take a look at it. So here is the negative footage, and what negative footage basically is inverted footage. What was white is now black, and what was black is now white. So sometimes it can actually make something more easy to spot, especially if it's filmed in darkness. So family, let me know what you believe about this footage in the comment section below. Do you believe that this is an alien or a demon or maybe something else that is supernatural? Because personally, I would have to say that if this is in fact real footage, if this really is a being, I do not believe that it is physical. It is definitely a manifestation of something spiritual. That is a fact. There is no way that a physical being would manipulate its appearance so rapidly, but I must add that moving light in such a rapid and unstable and unpredictable way can give off illusions, especially in such low resolution. That is why if somebody walks into a dark room at night and starts flashing a torch around, it can be quite creepy because the mind starts to think that it saw something and it starts to make out shapes with the images that has been flashed into the mind. And that is something that we must keep in mind because we can't be deceived by things that are untrue. What I will say that adds credibility to this story, and which is why I'm checking it out in the first place, is because injuries took place in the location around these apparent beings. And that means that there is something going on in that area. So it is definitely something to acknowledge. Now we're going to take the most interesting screenshot that I have found into Photoshop and we're going to take a look at that. Oh, but before we do, there is something extremely important that I must address.
For this, right now he's addressing guys trolls on his channels. So we can just forward this part.
Who claim to be Christian as ministers of righteousness.
He's a Christian channel.
All different levels of spiritual.
People are trolling on him.
But primarily,
and it's obvious.
Because the wolves wrestle against
flesh. Ephesians 6.
We must be able you yourself, which I'm going to analyze.
Right here.
Was interesting within the video, which I'm going to analyze and we're going to take a deeper look at. Now, if you spotted any frames that you found more interesting than these, feel free to join my Discord server, discord.gg/AV, and send those screenshots in the server, and y'all willing, maybe I will check those out at a later date. But for now, these are the ones I found the most interesting. So let's start off with this screenshot, and let's upscale it, let's enlarge it, sorry. Okay. Now, personally, get rid of those for now. Personally, this one here, I'm going to be honest. At first, the face, we zoom right into the face. Well, I'm calling it a face for the purposes of this analysis. If this was a face, this would be the reflection of the torch going into the eye. But what I find very strange about this, and what takes away its credibility in my opinion, is this part here simply looks like a tree branch. I'm going to be honest, it looks like a tree branch. But what we're going to do is we're going to play with the curves
Not
of
to
this
me.
image. See if we can get
I
anything
don't know what
to
it
pop
looks like to me.
any more than I already have in Premiere. To be honest,
Could be a tree branch, but I don't know. It looks like something, like a limbs or something.
I think that's, even if we take it all the way up, there is clearly an outline of something there, but what it is exactly, no matter how much we play around with this image, I don't think it's going to get much better than that. Even if we boost all the saturation up. So yeah, that one's done. Let's move on to the more interesting one now, which is this one. Now this one here could be something. Personally, to me, if this was an alien, this part here would be the skull, the elongated skull that we are normally shown as what aliens are supposed to look like, right? This would be one of the eyes, and this would be the other eye looking downwards over there. So let's now play with the curves on this one, brighten it up. See, there would be the forehead right here, and these would be the eyes right here. The issue is, there isn't really a body here, so if this was legit, his body would have to be going back behind himself there, probably be bent round holding on the tree or something. And you know, even though that's possible, like I said, if this is a real being, I believe it is something spiritual and not something extraterrestrial. It's not something physical. Now, let's up the saturation on this as well. Okay, you can actually see the curvature here of something for sure. What exactly it is, I'm not sure, but there is definitely some form of curvature here. And the more we up the saturation, the more solidified this part of the, we're going to call it the skull, looks. It's very interesting. It definitely is, in my opinion, one of the most interesting frames that I came across. This one, and also the one we're going to analyze next, which is this one here. But yeah, this one here is very interesting. Let's go on to the final screenshot, which is this one. Now this one.
This is more interesting. There's something here.
It's a bit of a stretch. But if this really is a head, it's the most clear out of all of them. Can you see it, family?
I can see
this one right here, in my opinion, is absolutely mind-blowing if this really is the being itself. Look, there's one eye, there's the other eye, and here's the mouth, and here's the body. If this really is a being, this is the most obvious footage we have of it. And if we up the curves, we can see it even better. You see? Look at that.
Okay, you
very
can tell
clear.
Here.
One eye, the other eye, the face, the body. Yep. It's mind-blowing.
This is the
honestly
mouth.
mind-blowing.
But this is the mouth.
But let's up the saturation as well.
Well, definitely this is an eye.
Yeah.
This is an eye and this is an eye. You said this is a mouth, or? Let me see what you say, man.
One eye, the other eye, the face, the body.
Okay, the eye, the body, face.
Yep. It's mind-blowing.
This is the
honestly
body
mind-blowing.
here.
But
okay.
Let's up the saturation as well.
It's kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely mind-blowing.
That's what you're
honestly,
saying.
If we really have discovered something here, yeah. Honestly, family, I haven't witnessed anybody else showing this image in the way that I'm showing it right now. And look, even here could be the hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that 4 fingers? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that could be the hand.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not saying
you're right. This could be a hand, and this is a. And where's the face? Kind of. Is the? I mean, the mouth. Kind of like this part is like. You don't know. Something like. Maybe because of the lighting, you can't really see this part of the body. The face, that is.
And even if it is, it's definitely something spiritual in my opinion. But let me know in the comment section below what you believe.
I think so. Could be too. Could be spiritual.
About this entire situation. I am genuinely interested, and I do check through the comments. And if you want to...
They're like flesh creatures, though. I don't know. But these creatures, they have flesh, but they're in flesh form. They could be like demonic. Yeah, I mean, it's possible.
To guarantee that I have seen your comment. Being a channel member is one of the benefits, because when I'm going through my comments, I can switch it to show channel members only, and that way I can make sure I do acknowledge everybody who is financially supporting the content, and I do truly appreciate you all, so thank you. Now, yeah, what do you think about this? Let's zoom into it a little further, just the face. Yeah, that's actually mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. Let me know what you think, family. Let me know what you think. And if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you smash the subscribe button, turn on...
Yeah, folks, so this thing happened in Peru, and this is like an invasion, folks. This thing been happening for like nights there. And wow, and something is really, so this is like an invasion, whole town, like a village being attacked. And it's the beginning of an so-called invasion. This is like the real, this is a prelude to one, a bigger invasion. This is just a random thing here, randomly, just this village. And are these really aliens anyways? They're most likely demon, could be demonic, spiritual. They manifest into some kind of flesh, like solid object, solid beings. So they're flesh. They're corporeal or non-corporeal beings, most likely. Yeah, they manifest into flesh-like beings. So, anyways, folks, what do you think about this? Make any comments if you want, or even subscribe. But that's the part 2. Even deception too. Anyway, that's it, folks.